Steam Next Fest is finally on. It started on the 10th and goes until the 17th, so next Monday. There are of course a ton of demos to play and games to get excited about. I of course have a few games I would like to recommend as I'm personally looking forward to them a lot, so let's take a look at the games. First up we have Kill Knight. This is an action game inspired by the 90s arcade shooters. It's an action bullet hell type game that is fast paced and intense. You have a lot of tools to help you survive, as this game is pretty hard. You have your main weapon, the dual guns, then you have a heavy weapon and a sword. Kills with the sword grants you heavy weapon ammo, and enough kills with the sword grants you a special attack, same goes for the heavy weapon. Then you also have a dodge, as there are a lot of enemies trying to kill you. The controls are excellent, and as you play you will unlock more and more weapons to play around with. A really fun game, super intense, but a game I highly recommend. Release is planned for this year, no specific date yet. Next up we have I Am Your Beast. I did not expect this game to be funny. I expected a straight up first person shooter, but man, the writing in this game is funny. You play the secret agent Harding that kind of snaps after being asked too many times to do one last job. The game plays out over small missions that you can approach however you want, I would say. The goal is to kill all the enemies and get to the exit. You also get scored on your performance when you're done, so speed is of the essence. During combat you have a lot of options. You have hand to hand, you can jump on the enemy's head to kill them. You can throw almost anything, place traps. The weapons have the bullets they have in the mag, but then you can also throw them. It's fast paced and a lot of fun. And I mean, just listen to this dialogue.
The more you hide, the more agents we send. Come on out, you big bitch.
Okay.
Wait.
Be careful what you wish for.
Release is planned for 15th of August. Raster is an interesting puzzle game. On each stage you are supposed to make it from the left side of the screen to the right side of the screen in as few jumps as possible. The twist here is that you can morph, twist or change the stage. There are 10 different spatial abilities that work very differently from one another. It's a really cool idea and really makes you think and try different approaches, because it isn't always obvious what the solution is. To make testing and finding the best solution as painless as possible, you have a few tools. You can reset the map. You can also make saves whenever you want, if you want to go back a few jumps and not the whole stage. And then you can also place markers, so you can see how far you can jump from that marker, making it a bit easier to plan out your moves. Super cool little puzzle game with over 100 stages. Release is planned for Q3 this year. Shim is a very cute and gorgeous game. The minimalistic art style works well to emphasize the most important part of the game, shadows. You play a Shim, the soul and spirit of a person, but you get separated from your person and now have to find your way back before it's too late. The gameplay follows in the same footsteps as the art style, with the very minimalistic controls, and all you do basically is jump and interact as you travel from shadow to shadow. You can also get hints of what to do next and where to go, but there's no dialogue in the game either. I think the game is very cool, a very chill game, but yeah, I really get lost in the art style. It's super cool. Release for this one is next month, 18th of July. Yowling Mythical Journey. This is an RPG set in a semi-open world. It's a bit like Pokemon. You have these Yowlings that are basically Pokemon. There are over 300 in the game. The battles, however, aren't quite the same as Pokemon games. These are played automatically. You get to place the Yowlings on the battlefield before the battle, but they do the battling themselves. During battle you can use charms to buff, heal and debuff the enemies. The Yowlings can also be used in your village to help it grow and assist in various tasks. There is a story here too with demons and whatnot, but overall I really like this game. I like the battle formula, and all the Yowlings are also good at different things, so you can definitely strategize when it comes to building your team. I think you can have 7 in each battle, so that's pretty cool. Release is planned for next month, no specific date yet. Then we have Arrow GPX. This is as close to F-Zero that I have ever seen, I think. And it definitely feels like you're playing an F-Zero game. It's amazing. The speed is there, the feeling of going fast is there. You can slam, you can do spin attacks, you can boost. It's great. It's all super responsive as well, as it has to be. A few stages has flight as well, which is really cool. The maps in the demo are a bit easy though, but it might just be the first campaign in the game. I hope there are more challenging stages, not frustrating, but more than just a straight line with a few turns. The only thing I'm missing in the game is the ability to create your own craft. There are of course a few different crafts in the game already, with different stats, but I would love to make my own. Otherwise a fun racing game with some kick-ass music. No release date for this one yet, unfortunately. Voidrot. A new age is dawning, and you have just woken up from your cocoon. You're driven to collect the blood of the gods that monsters now are hoarding. This is a Metroidvania with some smooth and precise controls. There are more than 30 artifacts to play around with, granting you different skills and abilities. The game of course have a lot of different enemies and bosses. It looks to be a very competent Metroidvania that checks all the boxes. I don't see anything new or a thing that makes the game stand out, but if you like Metroidvania games, I don't think this one will disappoint. Release is planned for this year. Vorkana is a strategy game with a lot of different elements cooked into one game. It's PvP based, but there are a single player campaign with more than 30 scenarios. You start off a game with building defenses. The next round is all about attacking. You and the enemy attack each other's bases at the same time, unleashing your armies upon each other. There is a time limit on the attack, so if no one destroys the other one's base, you will move on to the building phase again. Everything destroyed will be restored as well. You can build walls pretty freely, but defensive buildings and armies you send to attack, you play out with cards. So the game have a card system as well. So there's a bit of luck of what you draw and what you can play out, as you have a mana resource for that as well. I played the first 2 maps and everything kind of worked. It's definitely a lot in the beginning, but it's a cool mix. I must say I love the pixel graphics as well. I mean, if you zoom in max, it kind of looks like shit, but at a distance, it looks amazing. Unfortunately, no release date for this one yet. Next up we have Time Tracker. I mean, I had to have at least one roguelike on the list. It's at least kind of a roguelike. In this one you pilot a mech as you fight hordes of insect type monsters. The mech can of course be equipped with weapons to defend yourself and kill off all the enemies. As you play you unlock more weapon slots. I think you can have a total of 6 weapons. Each weapon can have 4 plugins that enhances and changes how the weapons are fired. There are also enhancements for the mech and passive buffs. I think most of everything can be upgraded as well. Outside of that, it follows a pretty standard roguelite formula where you level up to gain weapons and plugins. You fight in small arenas with objectives, and then you have an overview map where you choose the path you want to go on. There are of course boss battles and alternate objectives and a ton of other small stuff as well. But yeah, I had a ton of fun in it, so I had to recommend it. No release date for this one yet, unfortunately. Don't forget to leave a like if you liked the video. Thank you so much for watching, have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.